Have you ever heard of a simple act of kindness changing a life? Sometimes it's in those unexpected moments, like a homeless man paying for a stranger's meal, that life throws us the most surprising twists. João, a man with barely $1 to his name, did just that when he covered the bill for an elderly woman, facing the kind of hardship he understood all too well. But here's the kicker. The next day he woke up to a life-changing surprise that would turn his world upside down. João, a man whose life has marked every line on his face, had always found sacrifice as a constant companion. Even as a homeless man, he never let himself get discouraged by what he lacked. His real wealth was Clara, his daughter. When he saw Dona Beatriz, a kind elderly lady in a restaurant, he saw in her a reflection of his own struggles and choices. Something in her eyes reminded him that life is full of mysteries, like a puzzle waiting to be solved. And at that moment, João didn't hesitate. He paid her bill not with what he could spare but with the little he had left. In that gesture, most people would see pure madness, but João knew that true love shows itself in small choices. When Dona Beatriz looked at him with surprise and gratitude, he felt there was something bigger between them, an invisible connection that spoke of a lost relative or maybe a story yet to be told. Who would have thought? Generosity seems so simple but carries the weight of our inner battles. If a stranger can reach out, who are we to deny it to others? And as it usually goes with moments of truth, João's act planted a seed, unseen but powerful. Dona Beatriz didn't just get a free meal, she was touched by a family mystery that stretched beyond appearances. Right there, within João's act, something resonated in the heart of that older woman, something she may not have known she was searching for until now. Life has a funny way of putting the most unlikely pieces together. João's generosity wasn't just an act, it was a philosophy. He may have lost it all, but he gave the little he had left from the heart without expecting anything back. Clara watched him, maybe without fully understanding but feeling the depth of that moment. And who knows? This innocent act might just be the start of a much bigger mystery, a story that would unfold in ways no one could predict. The next morning, João went on his way, unaware that his act of sacrifice and truth was about to change his life forever. At every corner, in every strange face he met, there might have been a new clue, an echo of that moment in the restaurant. Something in the air seemed different, as if destiny was on the verge of revealing something. A lost family member, a new chance? He couldn't have imagined what was waiting for him. Life has a funny way of surprising us, especially when we least expect it. João didn't know it yet, but his act of kindness was about to be answered in ways he'd never have dreamed of. He walked on, but he wasn't just any man. He was someone who, with a single gesture, had opened the doors to a new journey, a truth that would echo far beyond a simple act of goodwill. After all, every action carries a hidden purpose, and João was about to discover his. Clara, young as she was, carried a spark in her eyes that only those with a true calling can understand. Even at her age, she had a deep fascination with medicine, a passion that seemed beyond her years. She'd watch doctors on TV and imagine herself in a white coat, helping others and making a difference. João noticed this dream of hers and, despite their struggles, he felt that familiar pull, the desire to sacrifice for a purpose, to bring her closer to a truth she was meant to discover. There's nothing more powerful than a dream nurtured by love and sacrifice. One day Ricardo, Dona Beatriz's grandson, crossed paths with Clara and immediately noticed her curiosity for all things medical. He saw something in her, a budding doctor, a young girl with a heart full of empathy and a sharp mind ready to explore. So, without hesitation, he offered to tutor her, to help her understand the world she was so drawn to. For Clara, this was like touching a piece of her future, an opportunity that seemed almost like a mystery finally revealing itself. Sometimes, the universe brings the right people at the right time. As they spent time together, Ricardo found himself amazed by Clara's dedication and natural talent. She wasn't just any curious kid, she was serious about this path, soaking in every piece of knowledge like it was a treasure meant for her. For a young girl from humble beginnings, this was a chance she couldn't afford to waste. Each lesson with Ricardo was like peeling back a layer of her potential, making it clear that her dreams were not just wishes, they were goals within reach. She was uncovering truths about herself she never knew existed. João, too, found hope in watching his daughter's journey. He realized that this wasn't just about learning facts or skills, it was a path of self-discovery, a connection between a father's sacrifices and a daughter's dreams. There's a unique joy in watching a child chase their calling, a sense of purpose that every parent can relate to. For João, Every step Clara took was like a reward for the sacrifices he had made. It was as if the truth of their bond was revealing itself through Clara's passion for medicine. Clara's journey wasn't just about herself. It was a reminder to those around her, especially Ricardo, of the powerful pull that family and purpose can have. Her path was like a thread weaving their lives together in ways none of them could have planned. With every bit of knowledge she gained, she grew closer to understanding her own inner strength and resilience. This was more than just learning, it was a dance of sacrifice, truth, and love that bound them all. And as Clara continued to grow, the dream only grew stronger, pulling her further down the path that seemed almost predestined. João and Ricardo stood by, each in their own way, supporting a journey that felt like it was meant to be. Together they knew they were building something that no challenge could shake, a dream based on sacrifice, a mystery of family ties, and an unbreakable truth that would guide them through whatever lay ahead. With time, the kindness João had shown to Dona Beatriz turned into a bridge to something greater. She saw in him a strength and honesty that many had long overlooked, and this realization led her to help him rebuild his life. Alongside her grandson Ricardo, Dona Beatriz decided to support João in starting his own business, a small grocery store that would become a new beginning. For João, this was more than an opportunity, it was a path to truth, a chance to transform years of sacrifice into stability for himself and Clara. Setting up the grocery store wasn't just about selling goods, it was about building a future. João, with his worn-out hands and newfound hope, poured everything he had into making the store a place of warmth and community. Each day was filled with hard work, but he welcomed it. This store was his second chance, a beacon of the family mystery that had brought him to this point. And through it all, Clara watched, learning lessons in resilience, dedication, and the value of honest labor. People in the neighborhood quickly noticed João's store and admired the man behind the counter. His humility, coupled with the strength he'd gained from years on the streets, made him someone people trusted. As the community grew to know him, João felt a sense of belonging that had been missing for so long. He was no longer just a man surviving. He was a man building, creating something that would outlast him, a testament to the journey from sacrifice to purpose, a truth slowly unraveling with every transaction. Clara found herself deeply inspired by her father's transformation. She saw in him not just a parent, but a man who had faced life's toughest challenges and come out stronger. In her own way, she took lessons from him, internalizing values of hard work and integrity. The grocery store was more than a place of business, it was a living example of the strength that family bonds can create. Each day in the store was like a reminder that the dreams they held dear could become reality. And Ricardo, too, was affected by the changes he saw in João and Clara. Watching João's success unfold was like witnessing the culmination of a family mystery that had long been waiting to reveal itself. His own life had been marked by privilege, but seeing João's journey showed him that true wealth lies not in comfort, but in the strength to overcome. Ricardo knew that he wasn't just helping a friend, he was part of a bigger story, one filled with layers of sacrifice, truth, and family ties that kept them all connected. As the store continued to thrive, João knew this was just the beginning. A simple act of kindness had opened doors he never imagined, revealing truths he hadn't dared to hope for. And while the road ahead still held challenges, João felt prepared to face whatever came next. After all, he was no longer alone. He was building a legacy for Clara, a foundation of love, sacrifice, and family bonds that would carry them forward, one step at a time. Life, as João and Clara learned, often tests us just when we think we've found our footing. Clara, so full of dreams and potential, faced unexpected health challenges, and each one felt like a new mountain to climb. An accident left her shaken, and soon after, a heart condition emerged, casting a shadow on her bright future. João watched his daughter struggle, his heart breaking with every setback, yet knowing that his strength was her strength. Each trial became a reminder of the sacrifices they had both made and the truth that love must carry them through. These health struggles felt relentless, as if fate itself was testing the bond that held João and Clara together. The grocery store, which had been their beacon of hope, now became a source of both support and strain. Clara's treatments demanded time, money, and energy, resources that João poured into her without hesitation. He knew that every effort, every penny was a part of his promise, a vow to protect her dreams no matter the cost. Their world became smaller, more focused, yet filled with a fierce determination to face each trial head-on. Ricardo, too, became a steady presence, offering medical guidance and emotional support to the family. For Clara, his friendship was a lifeline, a reminder that she wasn't facing these trials alone. Ricardo's care extended beyond duty. He felt a connection that was both professional and deeply personal. Through his actions, Clara and João saw the mystery of family in a new light, a truth that perhaps love and friendship were as healing as any medicine. It was in these moments that Clara discovered the true strength of those who walked alongside her. During one of her toughest times, Clara faced a long hospital stay, and her resilience was put to the test. She remembered her father's sacrifices, how he'd fought for every bit of stability in their lives. This connection to him was her anchor, a truth that no trial could sever. Lying in that hospital bed, Clara decided that no challenge would keep her from her dreams. She felt a new fire within, a commitment to life itself, even if it meant facing a mystery she couldn't fully understand. Each setback was a lesson, a chance for Clara to find meaning in the pain and struggle. She came to see that true strength isn't in the absence of hardship but in the courage to stand tall amid it. With each hospital visit, each doctor's appointment, Clara and João deepened their bond, realizing that they were each other's greatest allies. It was as if every trial they faced was a chapter in their family's story, each one woven with threads of sacrifice and resilience. As Clara emerged from these experiences, her heart, though fragile, was stronger in spirit than ever. These trials, while testing the limits of her strength, had shown her the depths of her own resilience. And as she began to heal, a new chapter awaited, one filled with the promise of love and friendship. Clara, no longer a mere child, was beginning to understand her path, her truth, and the mystery that bound her family together. As Clara continued to heal, the bonds around her began to shift in surprising ways. Ricardo, her steadfast friend and support, found himself drawn to her with a feeling deeper than simple concern. What started as kindness grew into something more, a tender affection that he couldn't ignore. His quiet admiration reflected the mystery of family and friendship evolving into love, a truth that seemed to bloom out of their shared trials. Clara, however, wasn't quite aware of Ricardo's feelings. Her focus was still on rebuilding her life, piece by piece. Meanwhile, Tiago, Clara's boyfriend, struggled to handle the weight of her challenges. Her time in the hospital and the emotional toll it took on both of them revealed cracks in their relationship. Tiago, once attentive and caring, now seemed distant, as if her trials were too much for him to carry. It was a tough realization, but Clara began to understand that not everyone could walk the path of sacrifice and truth with her. Tiago's choice to step away left her with a bittersweet freedom, a chance to heal on her own terms. Ricardo, on the other hand, stepped in with a quiet resilience, offering companionship without expectations. He listened, encouraged, and never wavered, proving his loyalty in ways that were subtle yet profound. Their connection was built on shared experiences, woven together by both hardship and kindness. Clara found comfort in his presence, as if he were a familiar yet unexpected part of her life's mystery. She began to sense that perhaps love, the kind that stands through trials, was not a spark but a steady flame that grew slowly over time. Tiago's departure marked a turning point for Clara, prompting her to reflect on what she truly wanted in a partner and in life. She began to see that love isn't just about passion but also about support, sacrifice, and a willingness to face the unknown together. This realization opened her eyes to what she might have with Ricardo, who seemed to embody the very qualities she valued most. Each moment with him revealed a deeper truth, a connection that hinted at the possibility of something lasting. For Clara, this newfound clarity was empowering. She no longer felt tied to anyone's expectations or bound by old commitments. She was free to rediscover herself, to explore what she wanted without the weight of past attachments. In her friendship with Ricardo, she found the strength to embrace her independence and to believe in the kind of love that grows from respect and understanding. Clara's journey was no longer just about survival, it was about finding joy and purpose. As she looked to the future, Clara sensed that her story was far from over. There was still so much to discover, so much truth to uncover in her relationships and within herself. With Ricardo by her side, a new chapter awaited, filled with promise, growth, and perhaps the kind of love she had always dreamed of. Each step forward was a piece of the mystery, a glimpse of the life she was building. A life filled with family, friendship, and a love strong enough to weather any storm. As Clara entered her teenage years, a newfound sense of independence took root. She was no longer the girl only defined by her struggles. She was becoming a young woman with dreams, desires, and a curiosity for life that reached beyond her past. The trials she had faced taught her resilience, and now she yearned to understand herself apart from them. This was her time to rediscover what it meant to live fully, to chase happiness on her own terms. For Clara, this journey was about creating a new truth, one built on both sacrifice and personal growth. She soon found herself in a world of new possibilities, where friends, hobbies, and her passion for medicine all intertwined. Her heart felt free to explore, to open up in ways she hadn't allowed herself before. Clara had been through darkness, but now she was drawn to light, a truth that felt like a natural next step. Her friendship with Ricardo continued to grow, yet she also sought connections that would challenge her to see life from different perspectives. Rediscovery, she found, was as much about meeting others as it was about meeting herself. With each passing day, Clara learned to embrace the unknown, letting go of the need to control every outcome. This openness led her to understand that life's mysteries weren't meant to be solved all at once. She could live within the questions, letting her journey unfold naturally. And as she embraced this outlook, her heart began to heal in ways she hadn't expected. She was rediscovering a strength she'd never fully known, one that allowed her to step forward with courage and curiosity. Ricardo, still a supportive presence, became a source of stability, but now on Clara's terms. Their relationship evolved with respect and patience, a quiet understanding that they both needed space to grow. Clara was no longer dependent on anyone's approval or validation. Her strength was coming from within. This was a love rooted in freedom, a partnership that allowed both of them to explore life while still cherishing their connection. For Clara, it was as if the mystery of family and friendship had transformed into a foundation of mutual respect. Her story was not just about overcoming, it was about learning to thrive, to pursue her dreams with a sense of purpose that went beyond survival. Each day she found new aspects of herself, her determination, her intellect, her compassion for others. She was discovering that life could be rich and fulfilling, even with its challenges. In every choice she made, she honored the sacrifices her father and others had made for her, while also creating her own path forward. And so, Clara stepped into the future with open arms, knowing that there would always be more to learn, more to experience, and more love to give. She was ready for whatever came next, guided by the truth she had found within and the sacrifices that had shaped her. Each day was a step closer to the woman she was destined to be, a woman of strength, wisdom, and grace. And while her journey was far from over, she felt more prepared than ever to face the unknown.